myself sick.
Hello, and welcome to After TCGS, the show, after the show, about the show. I'm your moderator, Bryson Wallace, and welcome everybody to another After TCGS. We have a mystery afoot after last night's Gethard show, a lot of apocalypse, end of days prepping, and we got a box out there that we all got to find, and if you haven't already, contribute whatever theories you got from last night's episode. We've got a thread already in Gethheads to try to crack this case in no time flat. Hopefully we can get to the bottom of this. Strawberry shout outs to Gethhead Jared Sparks for offering up that intro music. That's the song Ambiguous from his band Don't. Links to his and other Gethhead contributions are going to be in the comments and description and everything to this video, so you can find them. If you'd like to make any contributions to this show, we'd love to make it as much of a Gethhead collaboration as possible, so feel free to reach out to me, Bryson Wallace, in Gethheads, if you have anything you'd like to contribute. Our full archive of episodes is available at adumthing.com/aftertcgs. We have a lot of great conversations in there. Last week, talked to Connor Ratliff for nearly an hour about all things comedy and Clementine and Raisin Time, or I'm blanking on what that's called. So feel free to check out the full archive there. Hallie teaching us how to play the Gethard Show theme song on ukulele. Murph going over all of his tax issues with the state of New York. So check out that full archive there. My guest tonight, though, I'm very excited to talk to one of the sweetest people on television and one of the funniest people to boot. A lot of people clamoring for more of this person on the show. Please help me welcome Bethany Hall. Bethany, welcome to the After TCGS.
Yay!
Hey, thanks.
Hi.
Thanks so much for joining us on a random Wednesday. So good to talk to you.
It's my pleasure. Full disclosure, I'm sitting in my living room and my whole family's here. So
your whole family's here?
Well, you know, my husband, my babe. So if you hear them in the background, oh, here they are.
Oh, what's up?
Hi.
Oh, we got the whole family. So good to see you all.
Well, this is just Bethany's, so we're gonna go goodbye. Bye.
Yeah, bye-bye.
Bye.
Bye-bye, of course. And a special appearance by, of course, your new bundle of joy, Xander. How has being Xander's parents panned out for you guys so far?
Oh my gosh. We love being parents. I really underestimated how much I would like being a mom.
Yeah.
I would say that when I had Xander, I was like, well, of course I'm going to still do all my comedy and be out and about and like super social. But I just underestimated how fun staying home it is. Like, when I get home with the kid is pretty special.
Well, and I know my brother's a stay-at-home dad, and he says that it's the best. It's the best job ever. He just enjoys it so dang much. You've also got the added benefit. I'd visited the studio last fall, and you guys are a family affair over there. You at least have the ability to come into the studio with Xander, and you guys are just one big happy family amongst the show itself too.
That's totally right. Yeah, we have a lot of support there at work.
That's great.
So it's awesome.
That's great. That's great. Well, we've got a lot of questions that were being submitted by fans of the show for you. I don't want to hog up all this time myself. I want to get to other people's questions. I mean, Vanessa, we've already covered Vanessa's question, which is how's the banana baby doing? Now, I don't want to put you on the spot, Bethany, but I did gift you guys a banana baby suit. Has that ever gotten on the banana baby?
It has. Have you not seen pictures of it?
I've not seen pictures.
Okay, I will get you pictures of the banana baby, and thank you for that suit.
Not to put you on blast. I don't want to make this about me. I just want to see the banana baby in action.
As you should. Yes, I will send it to you personally.
Okay, wonderful, wonderful. Sean asking, are you still blinded from the flashlight last night?
Oh gosh. So before during rehearsal, I was told be careful. You could blind an audience member. You know, this thing is super powerful. It could start a fire if it's aimed at the wrong spot. And I was like, well, thanks a lot for giving me all this responsibility. So cautious of not letting the light get anywhere else that I managed to get into my eye, and I'm not still blind. However, I did have a headache at least until I fell asleep last night.
Oh man.
That's a powerful, stupid flashlight.
You said that it was like a blue spot that you saw like on your right side?
Yeah, my right eye just, like when a camera flash goes off, but then that never goes away.
Yeah. Now,
for hours.
When you were actually trying to cook the eggs with that flashlight, what was your experience in cooking those? Was it creating any form of like remote sizzle, or was it just like over time, just the consistency was changing?
It was sizzling. The problem with that flashlight, and again, I'm just going to say it's really stupid. The problem with it is that it burns only like one really small spot.
Okay.
So I actually became concerned there was like a black hole going up through the pot and coming out the other side. So I actually ended up faking it for a few acts because I was afraid that the light was going to like come through the pan.
So it was burning the bowl itself?
Yes. Yeah. Damn. On both sides.
Damn. All right. So it was a little bit of television magic that we had cooked eggs in that.
So I made the one egg.
Yeah.
And then I think just between us that I just pretended like I was still cooking, but I was like, no way am I using this weapon anymore. And also it was burning my thighs because I was holding the flashlight between my legs and it got so hot.
It seems like the kind of thing that any other show would have been like, no, we're never doing this bit, because that thing could have fallen like at your legs and just like directly in the direction of the audience.
Yeah, it was really funny. Also, Jersey Dave was like, I don't know why we're doing this. He was so not happy about it.
Jersey Dave also getting some screen time last night and getting some guff during the those what were they called again? The food, the prepared foods, or
the
whatever?
MRE or MREs, the
MREs.
meals ready to eat.
The MREs. All right. Now, off of the topic of last night's episode, folks wanting to know, and I certainly wanting to know about what's the status of your comedian in residence with American University?
Oh, that's so sweet. Thank you for asking. So I'm loving that job. Yeah. It's really, I feel so privileged that I'm currently working two dream jobs. Like one is a TV show that I get to make with a bunch of my best friends and my husband. The American University job is going super well. I'm working with this organization right now called Caring Across Generations. Okay. One of the co-founders is Ai-jen Poo, who is like my social justice leader crush.
Great.
So I'm working on a series with them that will be coming out this year. Now, a comedy series.
Yeah. So for anybody that doesn't know, I was reading some of the articles that were posted earlier this year, because that's when it was announced that it's like a year-long residency that you're doing, correct?
That's right. Yep.
And so it's for using comedy as a tool for shining light on social issues. And am I getting that correct?
Yep. So my job is basically to like marry comedy and social justice with with the primary focus of making things funny first.
Yeah.
So I could talk about this forever, but there's this new understanding that like comedy is one of the best tools to spread social change. And it's because it's so disarming. And people want to be in on the joke. So if you really wanted to understand a joke, it means you have to listen harder.
Yeah.
And you have to understand somebody else's point of view. And so it really just opens up that side of your brain that maybe is otherwise closed off to someone with a different opinion, or, it kind of, it enables you to let go of preconceived notions that you might have.
You're a little more
so it doesn't sound funny, but
yeah,
but it
But I mean, I guess it's the sort of that you're working with folks that are doing research in this area on something that is kind of, I guess, like a face value. You could agree, like a comedy, and just like everybody's got somebody humorous in their family, hopefully, and they are disarming, and that you're a little more open, maybe, or they're people who are funny are typically called approachable, I guess. And you're talking about further researching that and taking advantage of that aspect in ways for positive change.
That's right. That's what the center is doing.
Yeah.
The center is doing a ton of research. It actually came up with a report called The Laughter Effect.
Mm-hmm.
And then my colleague, Katie Borum-Chattu, is currently writing a book on the power of comedy and social good. My job is to strictly make comedy
content. Yeah. So where can people, like, is there somewhere that if people are curious to see the content that you're working on, is there an avenue in which folks can see that stuff and the product of it?
Yep. So the first major project will be coming out with this Caring Across Generations project. I imagine that will be released in about 4 or 5 months. Mm-hmm. And I will be posting it. One of the tricks with this job is that we don't want viewers to know that it's a social justice-y thing. Gotcha. Because that in and of itself like turns a bunch of people off. So it doesn't come under an umbrella of like, watch this do-gooder thing.
Yeah.
You know, it should just come. It's like here's a great video.
Yeah. So it's probably.
Am I making sense?
Yeah. Yeah. It's not going to. The whole point of what they're wanting you to do, it sounds like, is that they don't want the content to be coming from an institution or something that's going to have people put up potential barriers, that it's going to be on some form of a platform that seems more organic.
That's exactly it. You said it beautifully.
Okay. Yeah. So not even a shameless plug to follow Bethany on all sorts of social medias, but if you want to see the product of her work, she'll be posting about it, I'm sure, when that's stuff's coming up. That's great. And Comedian in Residence seems like such a cool title.
Thank you.
Now,
yeah, it's a cool title.
Now, you said that you feel like you're pulling off 2 like dream jobs. How are you pulling that off in addition to Xander being in your life now? Like, how are you feeling pulling off all these things simultaneously?
These questions are so thoughtful. I feel very flattered. Thank you. So it's been pretty crazy trying to do all of these things, especially since I started traveling so much for the Gethard show. Mm-hmm. So I was doing both the Comedian in Residence and internet liaison or fan liaising for the Gethard show, and then also trying to work in quality time with my kid because I like him, and then I also like my husband, so it was like a lot of moving
stuff.
Parts. So actually, I was doing both for a long time, and then beginning last week, I actually made the decision to put my residency with American on hold until our last episode.
Oh, okay.
So it just means that my job will now continue into the beginning of next year.
Okay, so it's taking that same amount of time. We're just going to add it to what would have been the year mark.
Exactly. Yeah, I was actually talking to Dave Blovband. We were going to get the Human Fish. We were going to get a coffee before the show a few weeks ago. And I was like, I feel like I'm giving 60% to the Gethard show. I feel like I'm giving 60% to American, and I feel like I'm giving like 3% to my family. And I was like, I can't manage all of this. And like in that moment, I realized like, oh, you don't have to.
Yeah.
And I, as a comedian, you're so used to hustling that it's a strange thing to realize that you can actually step away and say, like, I'm going to just put something on pause for a minute. And then I also had to just realize about something about myself is that I don't think it's cool to work around the clock. Like, that's not a person I want to be. So I just paused and said one dream job at a time.
Yeah.
Please.
Reevaluated and made the changes that needed to be made. But it sounds like that work at American will continue, and that's great, and excited to see the outcomes of that. Speaking of,
I'm still doing the one carrying across generations job, so keep your eyes out.
Keep the eyes peeled. Speaking of the traveling you've been doing for the Gethard show, been doing a fair amount of trips to visit fans in their either living quarters or workspaces in their environments, getting to know the fans of the show a little more detailed. Mary asks, what kind of exciting things would you enjoy seeing in your trips to visit fans, and what kind of mundane things would you enjoy? And maybe I'll add to this, what kind of stuff have you seen that maybe didn't make it to air that you thought were great?
Cool. Thanks for asking, Mary. I really enjoy getting a slice of somebody else's reality. And I like strange things, you know, like one of the downsides of being a parent now is that I don't get to go on as many adventures as I did, you know, 2 years ago even.
Yeah.
So like this traveling for the show is really an excuse to like keep my curiosity alive. And I think everything we've filmed so far will be seen.
Yeah.
One thing that happens when we're not filming, it's my new favorite game, and I started this game like a month ago, of every time I get a package with a 800 number on the back of it, I call the 800 number and just review the product.
Okay.
So like Hershey's, like little Hershey chocolate bars, how I get 800 number on them.
Yeah.
And I only say positive things. So
okay.
I call that 800 number, ask to talk to customer service, and then just tell the person who I'm talking to like how pleased I am with the product. Be like a Hershey bar, or a Miss Vicky's like potato chip, or Bob Evans, or McDonald's. And my goal is then, and this is the whole field team, so it's Orlando, Matt Porter, our DP Corey, like we've all gotten in on this game now, and our goal is always to speak to the person who we reviewed our products manager, and then review them and only say positive things about them.
Okay, so you're not only reviewing the product positively, but customer service at the front line, whoever you dealt with, you're reviewing them positively, and it's just this positivity circle that just keeps going on.
Yeah, it's so much fun, and it confuses people so much.
I'm sure, because they're all so used to receiving such negative phone calls, I'm sure. And
sadly, I think that's true. So we spend a lot of our time on the road calling customer service.
Well, that's such a lovely and adorable thing to just bide your time with the field team with.
Really fun. I highly recommend it.
Speaking of your trips, when are you gonna go check out that tunnel that girl apparently has, or her parents?
Oh, everyone should be asking Orlando Olier the same question. I'm ready to go
at any moment
now. I got a cat. Jessica has a cat. I'm deathly allergic to cats, but I'm just not going to walk in. I will walk in the house with like a face mask on. We won't even air it because it's not interesting.
Yeah.
But to be in the tunnel.
Okay, perfect. I'm so hoping that can pan out, because we gotta see what's inside this creepy tunnel. Also, why do her parents have a tunnel under their house?
Right? What are they smuggling?
Yeah, there's gotta be backstory on that. I don't even remember. Do you remember what the location was? Where she was calling from?
She's in New Jersey.
In New Jersey. Okay, so not too far.
Lots of mob affiliations in New Jersey, you know.
Okay, so we'll trust you to get to the bottom of it for us. Let's see here. Do you plan on doing any more writing? I know we've talked about you having tons of hats that you're juggling right now, but Thomas asks, he loves Thanksgiving and he would love more Bethany stuff.
Hey, thanks, Thomas. Yes, I am currently writing a show with my best friend. Her name's Mikhail Walter. She's very funny. And we have been pitching it around. So I basically put my American job on hold and then immediately started pitching another show.
Oh boy.
So far the pitches have gone well. It's not unlike Thanksgiving. Actually, this show, each episode takes place in consecutive days. So the first episode starts on a Monday, and then second episode's Tuesday, and so on.
Yeah.
And it's just two people going through big change in a short amount of time.
And for anybody,
so hopefully that gets picked up.
Hopefully, fingers crossed. For anybody that doesn't know, Thanksgiving is your web series. It's on Go90, correct?
That's right. Yep.
Got an amazing cast, some familiar faces from the Gethard show that you'll see. I've been meaning to watch it, and I actually checked out episode 1 today. But we've got Chris Elliott and Amy Sedaris on there. I watched it today. I thoroughly enjoyed it. When I talked to Keith forever ago, he reminded me of Thanksgiving, and I was like, yeah, I got to check that out. And Go90 is just a weird thing. Let's agree.
And there's so much content. It's amazing that people watch any of this stuff.
Yeah.
So,
but I mean, there's this sliver on the internet that is your show, and it's got, I mean, Chris Elliott and Amy Sedaris, no small, actors for a web series, and it's just got like a bunch of familial heart. And if you love anything dysfunctional family, you're gonna love this. So definitely check out Thanksgiving, you guys.
Yeah, there's a lot of familiar faces in the show. So we've got John Reynolds. He played the pretzel guy in one episode. Mm-hmm. He's in it.
Yeah.
We got Griffin Newman. Mm-hmm. We got Josh Sharp, Josh Rubens. We got Mujan. We were Shannon O'Neill's in it. Gethard's in it. It's a good time.
Best hair on TV is the best hair in your web series, man.
That's
Joe Thomas asking, when exactly did you stop giving a butt, and is your life any better as a result?
That was from Joe Thomas?
Joe Thomas.
Joe Thomas! I don't know when I stopped giving a butt. That was I love that became a line. I feel like sometimes I give too much of a butt, but things are definitely easier when you remind yourself to not give a butt.
Yeah. Now, what was it like, not only like spurring that, because there's plenty of phrases on the show, and especially like Connor warm-up songs that have, we've got Clementine, we've got all sorts of things that kind of, you throw a bunch at the wall and stuff sticks or not. I don't give a butt certainly stuck. And on top of that, what was it like recording a friggin' song?
That was a dream. I love Hallie Bullitt so much. And the fact that we were at a party, my kid's crying and the bath is running. So apologies.
No.
For the apartment.
It's fine. It's fine.
I was at a party with Hallie, and she was like, I can't get the phrase "I don't give a butt" out of my head. And she was like, I think it needs to be a song. And we both love to dance so much that we're like, oh, it needs to be a song with like instructional dancing. So that was super cool. And then I've always wanted, who doesn't want to be a rock star secretly?
Yeah.
So the fact that I got to go into a real recording studio and like sing was so cool.
Yeah, and on top of that, just like a wonderful music video to be produced off of it, and you and Hallie looking like rock stars and all the gold get up and everything. It was just like such a bizarre outcome for, you know, like I said, like any of those things that are thrown around. It was just so fun to see this thing snowball.
Thank you.
Yeah.
Yeah, I love that took off.
Benjamin asking, what are your thoughts on an all-mom episode of TCGS? You could co-host with Sally, Chris's mom, and just take all mom calls. There's a suggestion of Shannon's mom, who writes emails to Shannon after every episode, somehow contributing to it. We got a mom episode being thrown around.
I would be so into it. I don't know how many of our fans would relate to the all mom episode, but I'm in.
All right. Now, selfishly, I gotta take an opportunity talking to you personally to thank you, because years ago when I first was getting into the Gethard show, I was watching an older episode in the archives of Public Access, and you made a mention, and I forget which episode it was. If anybody remembers, let me know. You made a mention to the fact that at the time you were volunteering with Big Brothers Big Sisters. And just watching that episode of the Gethard show and just you saying that in that episode, I thought to myself, yeah, that's a thing that I'm aware of. Why have I never considered it? Like, I'm a young guy who's got time to volunteer. So I just want to thank you for, you know, being a voice for that program, because it is as simple as just saying it and saying that you're involved in it to potentially like get other people, you know, either interested or intrigued by the idea. And so now for, you know, the 3 or 4 years I've been matched with my little brother. So I just wanted to take the time to like thank you personally, because it was just like a spark of you saying it on the show for me to be like, well, yeah, why the hell don't I do that sort of thing? So I wanted to thank you personally.
No, I'm gonna start crying. That makes me want to. I'm honestly gonna start crying.
Oh gosh, emotional. I'm sorry to do that to you. That's not. That wasn't my idea in doing it.
No, I want to thank you personally for doing that, because I feel like there's so many children out there who don't have the kind of homes that we wish that they did, and even though we can't change everyone's home, I think that we're all capable of taking a little bit of our time to focus on somebody else. And I love that you're doing it.
Yeah, I mean,
that's so good. And how cool is your little?
My little is cool. I mean, I will be honest here, is that it's a very rewarding but a very difficult process, you know, depending, because not every match is the same. I wouldn't be able to, you know, do what, you know, I'm able to do, hopefully, for my little, without the help of the organization itself and their match support specialists. But yeah, my road has been a difficult one, but, you know, hopefully at the very least, even a microscopic influence or impact, or even just positive, you know, role model or positivity in general, is all anyone could really hope for. Were you matched with a little yourself?
So I've had 2 littles. I was matched with one for 5 years, and it, kind of like you, was a very complicated friendship with just like a lot of hurt and abuse and neglect.
Yeah.
And it was hard to wake up every day in my comfortable apartment and know that somebody just 7 miles away is waking up in a totally different situation. But I feel like that was a very moving, powerful relationship. Like I said, we were together for 5 years. She's now in high school, ready to join the military. And I'm very happy for her.
Yeah.
And we're still close. We're still in touch.
Okay.
And I love her deeply, deeply, deeply. And then I had another little sister, and we got matched up 2 years ago, and we did a 1 year, like friendship buddy thing.
Mm-hmm.
And then she ended up, I'm telling you all this stuff, but she ended up moving.
Oh,
So,
okay.
and I haven't actually joined up again, but I fully intend to. In fact, my husband and I intend to eventually just start fostering. So I think that might be our next step.
Oh wow, that's oh gosh. Well, hey, I mean, before we both start crying, but before we both start crying right now, let's just put it out there. If anybody else is watching this, and if it spurs for you what Bethany did for me, of just like, oh yeah, that's a thing that, like, they've got brand awareness, but a lot of people don't think that extra step of like, oh yeah, why don't I just sign up? You know?
Yeah, people think that they have to be a superhero, and you really just have to be there.
Yeah. So if it's remotely something you're interested in, definitely look up your local Big Brothers Big Sisters, especially if you are a male.
A
They are,
male.
yeah. I know
But
in
if
my
you're
area.
female too.
Females, no, females certainly, but I know that the company, I mean, the company has their match specialists going out and like specifically recruiting males, because that they always
Totally.
have a backlog of littles.
I think I read something that boys are sometimes on the waiting list for a buddy for sometimes up to 2 years or something.
Yeah.
So there's a real need for male volunteers. And also, if kids aren't your thing, there's also seniors who need friends.
Is there
So
is there an organization for that, or does Big Brothers Big Sisters have something along those lines?
I believe there's an organization called Encore,
Encore,
but
okay.
it's a very similar, but that might not be the name. But there is a very similar need out there right now for older people who don't have families.
Yeah.
And could use some connection.
Okay, that's good to know. I didn't even that also makes sense that there would be an organization like that. So if that's, like you said, if kids aren't your bag, which there's some friends of mine that I know that that's the case. There's similar organizations out there for the elderly who also need some tender love and care and some friendship. Let me see. I gotta ask this question after just like a very touching moment right there. I gotta ask a question I've been asking most people from the show, which is, who on the show in the cast or crew vapes to your knowledge? Anybody? We're trying to crack this case. We want to know if anybody on the show vapes.
I know of 5 people on the show who vape.
Oh, Hallie told us that nobody on the show vapes.
I'm not saying during the show.
No, certainly not. But we're just trying to see who's, and we're not talking smack about vaping whatsoever. We're not in any way being judgmental here. We just wanted to know if there was anybody on the show that does. So you're saying that there are 5 people out there. I won't hold your feet to the fire because you've given us more information than we've had to go off of so far.
I'm going to say 5 people.
5 people.
That I know of.
5 people.
Wait, let me count again.
Count again.
Yeah, I know of 5 people.
5 people. Okay. All right. So, I mean,
Well, now second guessing myself. I guess I know of 5 people who would vape.
Okay.
Who either would or do. Like, I don't know. I know
theoretical
people
vape.
No, I'm just trying to think. Like, does weed count, or does it have to be vaping specifically?
Oh, I guess, but like a weed pen, I don't think that's what the question is. But you're right. There's a line there. We'll just leave it open ended. We'll leave it open ended, and we'll just leave it at your 5.
Leave it at 5.
People can infer for themselves there. Well, Bethany, I appreciate you taking the time tonight. I do want to, like, if you could do me a favor, I'm going to rattle off some names of the people that had submitted questions. I'll rattle off names of people that were in the comments just now. I want you to pick a name at random without knowing why. Could you do that for me?
I'd love to.
Okay, I'm just gonna. So Vanessa submitted a question. Sean, Jonathan, Mary, Garen, Thomas, Joe, Jonathan, Benjamin. Let's see here. We had Alexis in the comments. We had Monique. Let's see, Kyle. Thomas, my mom Sherry was in the comments, but please don't pick Sherry. There's a reason for that.
I have to pick Sherry.
You don't pick Sherry because it's got to be a fan of the show. I swear, Bethany.
Oh, all right. I won't.
We've got Doug. Doug was in the comments, and I think I got everybody. So what name out of that list jumps out to you, Bethany?
Oh, gosh. Doug and Garen both do, and so does Monique.
Okay, so pick one of those. I got to hold you to one.
I'm going to go Monique.
Monique? Okay, Monique. Monique is going home with one of the few remaining limited edition I Don't Give a Butt t-shirts. So Monique,
yes.
Monique, I'll reach out to you. This is courtesy of Ari Clifton, who made a bunch of them. You got one of them, right, Bethany?
I got 2 of them, and I wear them to the gym all the time.
They're very comfy. They're a very nice fabric. So Monique, it's an extra large because I don't have a lot left.
That's so funny. I love mine so much, and it's subtle.
Yeah.
Like there's a big butt on it, but you kind of don't notice it.
Yeah, I wear it out sometimes, and I realize that I have a big butt on my shirt, but then I don't have to worry about it too much.
I love that shirt.
Well, thank you, Bethany. Thank you, Bethany. I figured it was only fitting that you pick a person to get an I don't give a butt t-shirt.
Well, if it's too big for you, either cut off the sleeves and tie up the waist, or give it to somebody else.
There's 2 viable options if it doesn't work for you. Looks like Monique was in the comments. She says, thanks, Bethany, for choosing her. So congratulations, Monique. Bethany, before we go, one last thing. I've been giving everybody an opportunity to share or take whatever time they'd like to just get any message out to the Geth heads, be it shameless plugs or well wishes or, anything you want to say to the Geth heads at large. This is the opportunity to do so.
Thank you so much, Bryce. Okay. What do I want to say? I guess I'll say I've been working on this show for about 9 years now, and it's been it's a huge part of my life in so many ways, and I love that it's also a part of your life, and my son's walking by right now. Hi, Bub. This kid wouldn't be here. This cool cat wouldn't be here.
There he is.
If it wasn't for the show.
With a true TV hat, nonetheless.
Yeah. No, but I think I just want to thank everyone for continuing to care and be part of the family, because it's an extended family, and I'm so happy to be part of it. I don't know. You got me all emotional about the Big Brothers thing.
I'm sorry, Bethany. I didn't mean to put you on the spot. But I'm glad I'm glad I was able to tell you that, because it does mean a great deal to me. Even you just saying that in passing on a public access show that you did, at this point, like 5 or 6 years ago, probably.
Wow.
So, well, Bethany, thank you so much for joining us on a Wednesday to take everyone's questions. Give my best to the whole family, to Xander, and to tell Keith that I appreciate him. Like we were talking about before, he's been a big supporter of this after show. So thank you guys all.
My pleasure. I hope you recorded the sound.
I recorded the sound this time. Hey, Keith, I got it. Right. Keith, hey, listen, I was trying to open my heart to you, and now I feel a little betrayed.
Oh, no. You're the man, Brian. We love you. Thanks for the banana costume.
Oh, yeah. You guys.
So we have...
Oh, so cute. So cute.
Bryson, thank you so much. Thanks for listening, enduring my rambling.
Oh, no, gosh. Listen, this has been fascinating. I've loved the opportunity to speak to you. So have a great rest of your night. We'll talk to you guys soon.
Bye, guys.
Bye. All right. What a lovely conversation. Thank you guys for contributing questions. Good congratulations to, was it Monique that won the Geth Head t-shirt? And yeah, if you guys can, please contribute. We got to find this bin wherever it is. So find that thread and go to our archive after TCGS. Bye-bye.
Eloise says, Bethany, please.